it. Oh, right. Oh, hang on.
Comment if you are. This is a bit of a... Ah, of course. Gitman is here.
Hey, the Kit Man.
Our #1 fan. Superb. Whoa. We get 2 Essexes. Blimey, it's like Alfarius and bloody Omegon, isn't it?
Clint in stereo.
There you go.
Right, how's the thing looking? I used my test card and had the thing muted until we were like there. Actually, there's a thing I need to make that full screen. So professional.
Oh, we've got Mr. Fish in here as well. So yeah, guys, we're just what are we doing? We're literally just doing we were just going to hang out tonight and do some hobby and chat, and we thought, why not just go live and do a bit of hobby and chat with you guys as a bonus? So yeah, that's what we're doing. I am working on tonight. I am working on my latest project, which is 2 new death dreads to add to my current mob. I've got the oh, I'm echoing there.
Someone needs to mute the stream sound. But yeah.
But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, to add to my Daka Dread, who, because I've got Snap, Crackle, and Pop, and then I've got the Daka Dread out on his own, it feels wrong. So I want to make a 3, another threesome. And I was trying to struggle with names. So they've already got names. It will be Crash, Bang, and Wallop will be the 3 new ones. And I've got to make it 1 Death Dread kit and a Leviathan Siege Dreadnought kit that I am basically just going to do a cut and shut and mash the 2 kits together to make 2,
do you know what you should
hopefully, cool-looking Death Dreads.
Do you know what you should do sometime? You should make more cereal-themed dreads.
Like what? Like Captain Crunch?
Captain Crunch. I was also thinking Mr. Frosty and have him as a Scorcher dread.
Oh, yeah, like that. That's cool.
Make him look a bit snowman-y somehow. Maybe like the old series of balls kind of dreadnought that we used to have back in like Rogue Trader. And give him Scorchers, but they could be freezy Scorchers rather than burny Scorchers.
You're not sending me to the cooler.
I mean, basically, I'm suggesting Mr. Slushy. You're going to make Mr. Slushy, right? With a little draw.
I imagine someone's already converted one of them into a Stomper or something at some point.
Mr. Slushy Stomper should really happen, seeing as we have Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah, Mr. Frosty one, because you get the you've already got like the base bit for the rotating fucking cannon you can stick in his belly.
I remember the TV ad for that where it was like a little kid with spiked hair, glasses, and I think he had like a bow tie or something like that.
Yeah. Mr. Frosty is such fun. He makes drinks for everyone. I never got one. I wanted one always.
I had one. We got a second-hand Soda Stream.
We had Soda Stream as well, man, back in the day.
But it didn't last very long because we basically couldn't afford to buy the over-expensive
refills,
soda refills and stuff.
We used to just do it with squash.
Yeah, I saw a video of someone did. You know the big massive CO2 tanks that they have on pubs. Someone had rigged one up into like their pantry room and then hooked it up to their Soda Stream that way. Like I was like, that's right. Yeah, I think we all had the same problem back in the 90s. Then the refills were holy Jesus. That's where they made their money. Like,
oh yeah, big time.
Yeah, for sure.
And who knows if anybody is gonna get any of these references? Certainly not Jude.
Well, the demographics on YouTube tell me that most of my viewers are about my age or in their 20s. So, you know.
I mean, they must have had that shit in the States. I presume they did.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mr. Frosty, they must have done,
They
yeah.
must have done.
That'd have been Spain. He was called El Frizo.
Senor Friezo. Probably was tonight. I am either assembling specific mechs. So, like, I've got the awesome 8R or 8T. And these are, I've gotten all the mechs together for the English Nationals that's in Leeds in the middle of next month. So, what I'm doing is instead of just using the generic, like the awesome 8Q, so using the variants that are in plastic and available, I've actually got some of the specific variants in metal. So they are WYSIWYG. They don't have to be. I just think it'd be a cool touch. But I'm going to assemble them or get the base coat on them to do my tournament tricolours for the English Nationals, the English BattleTech Nationals.
Now, I imagine if we've got some new viewers, they're probably going to be really confused by that, because when Scar's saying mechs, he's not talking mech boys.
No, BattleTech. The finest war game in all the land. I mean, I don't hear anyone else. Oh, it's a Madcap! Hey! But yeah, this is the project that needs to be done now, and then I suppose the next project on the hobby table will be that themed army I was talking about. What's next on the list?
Fuck yeah. Oh yeah, you haven't actually talked about that yet, mate, because I think you talk about it on Sunday.
Ah, well then we shall keep it stum until then. You'll have to watch Sunday's video. Aha.
Yeah, Sunday, 2 bald knobs, back baby. So don't miss that. But look at us bringing fucking regular content.
Well, how's the world come to?
And then fucking Brucey bonus content on top of it.
And here's what you could have won.
Nice to see you, Warbosses.
Good guy.
I think we've definitely lost the American audience at this stage.
Yeah.
Oh, look. That's a very long tube you got there, Clint.
Yeah, long ass.
That's my project for tonight.
That's a kill, Yep. Loving it, man.
It's coming together now.
Yeah, I'm very jealous. One day I would very much like to make a totally not Mad Max 2 kill rig thing. Incidentally, not remotely prodding the Warbosses here, but like there is a Gorkamolka special narrative campaign with scenarios built around a feck off big 18-wheeler truck.
Nice.
So
hint.
Hint.
So, subtle elbow jabs, hints. You know, we could play with big rig and go more.
But I mean, I'm
up for it.
Yeah. I have actually, because it's been an interesting few months for me. But basically, to cut a long story short, got made redundant. Probably the worst way I can imagine, but you know, I'm moving on with that, and I got like my redundancy money through, and I should have probably spent it on like sensible things like food and petrol, but instead I treated myself to some hobby things. So I've mostly bought things that are for Gorkamolka principally. So I've got an idea for a digging up team. a digger team, I should say. I've wanted to make diggers since they came out, and I love the OG metal sculpts, but I get a little bit irritated by constantly saying, "Oh, just use Necromunda Goliaths. They make sense," and they don't make sense to me. Big muscly dudes make sense when you've got a whole load of food and steroids to help with that. When you're on a desert planet that really, really, really wants you dead, you're probably going to be somewhat muscular, but you're going to be wiry at the same time. And I tell you what fits the bill quite nicely with that is the new World Eater Jackals. I don't really like the Dark Knight Bane masks. The darkness is not they're a bit shit, but I got a load of bald heads from Victoria Lamb Natures, I think. Ages ago for of course you would. For what's it called? The Gene Stealer Cult. And I've still got a load of them left. I just need to find where the hell they are. And I'm going to use those. Add those onto the jackal bodies. The poses are great. I obviously need to get rid of all of the chaos iconography, but they're pretty good. They're pretty good start for diggers. Obviously, all the chainsaws need to go, but I just replace them with some proper orky weapons, and they'll look grand. And I also grabbed some Goblin, the Goblin Blood Bowl team, but they're not going to be for a Goblin Blood Bowl team. Although I do need to eventually make one because they
Super
are
Grots.
Fun. No, that would be kind of a cool idea, but no. I'm gonna finally cut the middleman out and finally make my Gretchen Stormboys that I've been threatening to make for years.
Yeah,
I've got some of the old metal third ed rockets, and the Blood Bowl goblins just look like they're in boiler suits. They're perfect. So
that sounds cool as fuck.
Yeah,
sounds very nice. Well, I'm totally not ready for anything tonight.
Shit.
All my stuff's indoors.
I'm very quiet,
And I'm
apparently. I don't know why.
Sound all right here. So you sound all right in the chat, maybe. I don't know. What are you streaming with? You're capturing with Zoom, is it, or OBS?
I'm hearing you all right, Dim.
I'm using OBS.
So check your volume level.
It might just be because he's not yelling expletives and stuff.
Well, the microphone's right next to my head, so I should be the opposite of quiet. To be honest.
Well, like the rest of us will be system volume, and you will be microphone volume. So there might be a disparity between the two.
Yeah. I think we'll just make do as it is, because unfortunately, I couldn't get the OBS to just record from Zoom.
You're capturing a window, is it?
So I'm doing window capture. I'll just
let us know in the comments, guys, if it's really bad, if it's listable. Let us know how bad it is.
I mean, I can knock the vision off for a bit to do fiddling around with the sound and stuff, but I would rather just leave it going.
Yeah, we got this. It's a bonus live, and it wouldn't be the Warbosses if something wasn't slightly off. And
no sound will ever be as bad as that fucking Q&A. Long may it rest in pieces.
Oh, I don't know, mate. You didn't hear that.
We cut it off in the end, which I think.
Yeah.
What was it again? You got the audio because your microphone was picking up your headphones, was it?
Yeah.
Jesus.
The only sound we were getting, so I used like an awful lot of manual sound editing to reduce my volume whilst increasing your volume, whilst making use of sound that I'd basically just captured from.
And that is the only time that Dim
Wow.
ever tried to raise my volume.
Yeah, usually you and Dread, it's the other way around. And you.
But yeah, at the moment, hobby-wise tonight, I'm working on this guy. Pictures are on my Instagram, Hobbygate. Going to be better than me showing you in a cam.
I think I'm right in saying they're going to get a proper look at that thing soon, aren't they?
They are, yes.
Proper look.
Because this is my Warboss challenge thing. So
Warboss challenge?
Battle Wagon challenge thing.
Battle Wagon challenge?
Come on, Steve. No. You must have nearly finished that by now.
I have no memory of it, Clint.
What?
Never. First time hearing of it.
I thought you commissioned it out and got Sid to make yours.
Yeah, that's ringing a bell, actually. Yeah, you might be onto something there.
I think we all commissioned it out to Sid, didn't we?
I mean, at this point,
not all of us. Not all of us. Yeah.
Well, Dread just commissioned out the ideas.
It's the audience's fault. It's you guys watching this now. I blame you. We trusted you with the vote. We provided. We offered you the truck, the fucking Ork truck, the flyers, the Met gun,
golden opportunity,
and you chose the battle wagon. And I just wasn't prepared for that. And yeah. Oh. I had plans for that truck as well. No, to be fair, I did start. I do have something to show for it. I did start. I just got.
You opened the box, didn't you?
No, I fucking started building it, you fucker. I got the. I got the track section. Well, what I was, yeah. Well, I'll save it for the video because we'll see how far I've got by the time we do the video. But yeah, I've got something to show for it. The early beginnings of something, anyway.
You could do a kit bash with the box and just make a piece of terrain out of the cardboard. That'd be quite good.
Just,
legitimate.
Yeah, make some little tin bots out of the sprue bits like that guy did with the Necrons at that tournament that time.
Done.
Surely these are tournament legal. It's GW parts.
Brilliant.
Now I reached like I don't know, just like a dead spot. You reach a certain point in a project sometimes, and you're just like.
A buzz goes, doesn't it?
I don't know where to go with it. I'm sort of. It's not quite come along how I'd envisioned, and then I'm like, no, I'm not happy with that. I want to change it, but then I can't, and I kind of hit a stumbling block. Maybe there's not the part I need to make it work the way I want, or I can't figure out how to make it work, or so I just kind of hit that bottom. I'm like, I put it away for a bit, and then it's just kind of stayed away. And every time I think about getting it out, I'm like, nah. I think as well, also, I'm making something that I think will be really cool and I would like to have and would like to build one, but I don't really kind of see a place for it in my list.
So it's never that high on the priority, is it?
No, it's not, because it just doesn't fit the theme. We were talking about fluffy lists recently. It doesn't fit the theme of my army.
Don't be spoiling. Don't be spoiling.
Yeah, so basically they can gather from that it's not a Death Dread. We got Gary Hauser in the chat. He's in Panama at the moment.
Oh, lucky man.
And Gitman says he can hear Dim. He's just a bit quiet, so sounds all right.
Makes for a change.
Excellent.
Yeah, I might actually get a word in edgeways on this one. Yeah.
Yeah, good luck to the rest of us, though. Yeah.
Yeah. Come on, Clint. Can you just wind your neck in a bit, please?
Fucking hell.
Can't fucking hear myself think over here. Christ.
Make a change, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Dear, oh dear.
God gave you one mouth and two ears for a reason.
Does that mean you got two mouths?
Yeah, I've got one at the back. I speak out of it all the time.
It's been nice actually having you guys on a bit more and everyone a bit more enthused. It's definitely given me a bit more like will to like a bit more enthusiasm to get on with a bit of stuff. Even though I've been working loads, it's been nice.
Yeah, so I agree, mate. It's I think we inspire each other, don't we? And when one or two of us get really motivated, and it's sort of infectious. And
I agree.
So, how many videos is he making now? How many vehicles? Say it's a one-man fucking army, I'm telling you.
Yeah, he is indeed.
Yeah, he's on fire lately. Is our Sid?
It's like, oh, I've half painted 2 mechs. He's like, I built 3 vehicles.
Yeah, yeah. Pretty much scratch built, fucking Land Raider sized vehicle, fully painted it, and presented it on video in a entertaining and humorous, well edited manner.
Mm-hmm.
So just fuck off, Sid.
That's the difference, ain't it? Where he's settled, he's got a nice little routine, a nice little home life. He's all, do you know what I mean? I think all of us lot have been a bit sort of up in the air, to be honest. Well, I know I have been. I've been new job.
Yeah.
Been mental. I know you've been mad at work, and I know.
Yeah.
His woes at work.
But I would love to say that's the reason, but I also know full well that if I had the same amount of time, he'd still be leagues ahead of me.
I'll give you an out here, Steve. Come on.
No, I can't. Yeah.
I've definitely been less productive than I am normally lately. I've been, Yeah,
I've noticed. Yeah, all you've managed to knock out is a massive fucking kill rink, like fucking length of a gaming table. Yeah, you're letting yourself down. You want to up your game, son?
I do honestly. I do feel like I have not let myself down, but I have definitely slowed up. I have done a lot of other stuff though. I've done all them rockers. I painted a whole Blood Bowl team. I did paint all them Skaven and 2-star players. I've done Frankenstein and what's he? The rat dude.
Oh, Harkin Guttles.
Hackflem Shuttle Spike. That's it. Yeah.
Essex, this is more demoralising than Sid, because at least Sid is just pouring his heart and soul and going for it. You're in first gear and you're just still producing a fuckload more than I ever do. Like, my progress is slow. But
I sit. I'm a boring git in the evenings. I just sit there on my own. Like all the family's in bed when I get home from work normally, so I just sit there for a couple of hours, do a bit of painting, watch a bit of YouTube. Do you know what I mean? Just chilling. Sometimes on the Discord. Yeah, my wind down time.
Yeah, I think that it's like that for a lot of us, isn't it? And a lot of people watching, I'm sure, will agree. It's the like I said, sorting out this hobby space the other day. The missus has started encroaching on my territory. So I've had a bit of a move around, and I had a unit with all like models and stuff on it. But then she keeps putting like deodorants and face creams and stuff on there, and then it was just once or twice, and then started thinking, well, now it's half hers now, and so I moved it all around, and like, no, this is like my safe space.
No, this is my area.
This is what keeps my mental health good.
But it's true. You need a space, man. Everyone needs a space. Whether it's a bloody tray that you get out and you just stick it on your lap, you know, that little escape.
But it's so much better now. I've tidied it all as well. That gets me more motivated as well. I've reorganized it, tidied it, stripped it down, pulled everything off, cleaned everything down. I cleaned each individual paint pot. You know, everything got a dust before it went back.
Fuck that.
Just did. I have proper OCD. I went through it like OCD, just like
I get it.
I can't clean it and then put dusty stuff back on it. It's just going to get real dusty.
I love that idea. I love the idea of doing that because I know it'd make me more productive. But it just feels like when I'm doing it, I'm like, fuck me, I could be doing something interesting. Do you know what I mean? Like,
you'll be amazed at the space you save. I've had loads of half-finished projects like still in the boxes and stuff, but I've thrown all the boxes out. I took all the sprues, put all the sprues in one box, and then all my half-finished projects I put in another box. So they're not there. I was chatting to Dim before we went live saying like, I was seeing it all these half-finished stuff, and all of them were saying to me, "You fucking loser! You didn't finish this. Look, you loser!" Like, so you guys need to fuck off. Wait in your box till I'm ready for you. And I just have that one project at a time on the desk that I can focus on, and then they're not around making me feel bad.
Fair enough.
But yeah,
mine's staring me in the face just over here. My big unfinished project. Look at that one.
Oh, you saucy git.
Fucking beastie.
What's everyone watching up to? Let us know in the comments what you're up to.
What are you making?
I'll tell you what, this Leviathan kit, I don't get many Space Marine kits, but this Leviathan Dreadnought kit is bloody lovely. Really, really nice posability in the legs.
Nice.
And I've sort of got them here. They're not glued or anything at the moment because I want to pose. I'm just going to... I'll tell you what, this Leviathan...
Is that the plastic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They look like Ed 209's legs, I think. But they're really posable. You've got like the at the knee joint at the hinge, it's got like a proper works like that, and then it's all ball and socket joints on the legs and that, and so you can
nice.
I've played around with quite a few poses of it, so I'm gonna have, and you get different feet as well. You get 2 flat feet, but you also get one that's all kind of like in a raised position.
Right. Yeah.
So I've got him. I've played around with the legs, and he's this Death Dread's going to be stomping 1 foot down because they're massive hench legs compared to a Death Dread legs. They're really chunky. So, but with the weaponry I'm planning on giving him being on these big, thicker, more stable legs is going to make sense because he's going to be carrying a bit of weight with him. And yeah, I'm just there's nothing like a good kit bash to get me into the hobby. It's definitely my favorite part of the hobby. I love a good kit bash.
Nice. I've got the resin Leviathan, the old 412 one.
Nice. I bet that set you back a bob or two.
Back in the day, yeah. Death Guard, painting up the Death Guard.
It's weird using metal miniatures again after not having metal miniatures for so long with like GW stuff.
I quite like metal models sometimes.
But it's the weight, like it's just it's a bit of a chunky, like it's that's
probably the number one thing I like about them. When you pick them up, like I still run the metal Warboss, and you pick them up, and it just feels substantial in your hand. Feels like a bit more valuable. Like I don't know.
So this is like a brand new metal sculpt because it's a sculpt based off of this new plastic. They're redoing them like, and it's hefty enough.
And why are they doing that then?
Because this one is like this one is a variant. So if you look at this one on the chest, I don't know if it's coming in clear, but this one has a different weapon loadout. Yeah. So it has like missile launchers in its chest and large lasers in its arms, whereas this one's like the 8Q that most people would expect. I don't know if you can see.
But why are they doing them in metal?
Because so the way it's done is like Catalyst Games Labs themselves, they'll do box sets in plastic. And the metal miniatures are outsourced to Ironwind Metals. So the Ironwind Metals guys, they'll come in blister packs. Like, they do them in metals. So usually what happens is like, they'll do the variants now. I think that's the way they're going forward. Is like that Catalyst makes the plastics, and then Ironwind Metals will make some variants. And then
so they sort of like the subconscious. Are they sort of a bit like Marauder used to be to
kind of. Think of it like
sort of thing.
Maybe you could think of it like if Forge World made variants of units that Games Workshop have. So like, see the way they have Cadians? Imagine Forge World did like Valhallans and Mordians and stuff like that. They're still Imperial Guard. Or maybe for Orcs, if Games Workshop did generic, but then, maybe if Forge World did a specific Blood Axe Orc boy unit and like, Goths and Bad Muons. You know what I mean? Like they're doing variants of stuff. Or they do stuff that isn't in a box set still. You can get like, there's still old school producers, like Ralph Party UK still produces some really old school stuff. And they're still doing molds of it from like stuff from the 80s and stuff. So some of the old school stuff is nice. A lot of it's out of scale and rubbish looking, but some of it's nice. So you can make like a nice retro look as well. You know what I mean? And you can use them all. That's the thing I love about it. Is like, I think, what is it, 40 next year? So it's the 40th anniversary of Battletech next year. So 1984. Yeah, 1984. So it's been going since then. Like it's been going longer than 40k. Like, but you can still, like, the lads who've been playing since 1984.
Pretty much the same age as Fantasy, isn't it?
I think so. I think Fantasy was 85 or 84.
Because I think Fantasy's about to have its 40th, isn't it?
So it's about the same. Yeah, and but like, there's lads who can still get their miniatures from 1984 and play with them on the table. Like, it works. This is what I like about it. But the new plastics look nice. Like a lot of the old metals are a bit skewy. They're very dated and they're not great. But the new plastics,
they are looking. That's something that sort of always put me off it. I just didn't like the miniatures. But since they did this whole new sort of, not edition, but like sort of revamped and changed, they look really cool. They're very cool miniatures. I like them.
Is this third, fourth? I think this is the 5th edition of Battletech. Box set wise, it's like its 5th or 6th core box set. But it's like I said before, when it comes to Battletech, they refine the rules. So when, like, the difference between 2nd and 3rd edition is like an errata and an FAQ, like, and the same again. So like, if people find older books, the guts of it it's still the same, really. You know what I mean?
So the actual rules haven't really changed in all them editions, not really.
Slight changes. The core elements of the rules haven't really. Some war gear would have changed. The way they calculate the weight on some stuff may have changed. But like, no, the core mechanics of the game are still the same, and modifiers and stuff like that. So like, yeah, often when I'm doing demo games and someone's played it back in the 90s, they literally, it's still the same. Like, you know what I mean? I remember a lot of this. You're sort of
okay.
But kids pick it up pretty quick as well. Like, we had I was at Eschen Spiel last month, helping Catalyst demo games. There's another game they have, Leviathans and Battletech. I was demoing them, and we had people of all ages, like um, people older than me, and then kids like 10 or 12 playing the game, getting intros into it. Like, and yeah, it was good crack. That's if you ever get to go to a games convention and you're really into board games, like I think that's the one you go to. There was some wargaming bits and pieces, and it was interesting to see. Um, like you get all sorts, man. You get like companies from China coming over that do manufacturing specifically of like plastic miniatures. So they'll have like their molds. They'll have their multi-part metal molds on display for specific miniatures. Like, and I thought that was pretty cool. So you're getting to see a lot of the industry as well, like how it works, and
that's quite interesting. Yeah, you're seeing a bit more of what goes on behind the game rather than just on the table.
Yeah. Big time, big time. And there's people there for everything. So if you like companies that did like dice and tokens and like getting board games made or miniatures, like it's a big like convention that people go to and shop and buy stuff. But it's also there's a lot of the gaming industry goes there to do business like as well. Like so, it's good to see. It's interesting to see a few bits. But yeah, I've never seen so many games in one place. Like, and it's I think it was like. We were there for 4 or 5 days of the event, and I think the attendance was like 196,000 over those days.
Wow!
So it was crazy.
Yeah, that's big numbers, isn't it?
Yeah, fun though.
I went to the Games Expo in Birmingham a couple of months back. Went up there for 2 days. I played in the Star Wars Legion tournament there.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, it was good. It was my first ever tournament. Never done a tournament, 40K or anything. Never done a tournament. My first one. It was good. I enjoyed it, but I didn't see any of the expo. So I was just playing games for the whole 2 days solid and didn't see a fucking bit of it. It was really annoying. I got like a dash around for about 20 minutes in my lunch break, and that was it. Mad.
They only give you 20 minutes for lunch break. Or is it you only had 20 minutes left?
Exactly that. Yeah. Quickly had something to eat and then, yeah, dashing around. Obviously, I was shit at the game as well, so my games were taking way longer than everyone else's. I
suppose that's the thing you need to weigh up when you're going to an event and you're specifically attending a tournament. It's like, especially if it's a multi-day one, that's going to take up your whole event. So, you know, weighing up really, you know, do we want to spend the whole event at this one tournament, or do I want to do like a one-day thing? You know,
the tournament was great. It was really well organised. I can't fault the guys who set it up. The terrain was brilliant. All the people I played with, well, majority of them were really good. No, nice. Yeah, had some really good games as well, actually, and it was a good laugh. But yeah, it was a shame because I didn't get to see as much of the actual convention as I wanted to, which is a bit of a shame as well because there was some cool stuff there as well.
I've never been to Warhammer World. I still haven't made the pilgrimage yet.
Oh, you got to do that, Steve.
I 100% will, guaranteed. But I think to myself when I go there, I'm like, I don't think I'm really that bothered about playing a game there. I just want to walk through those displays and see those mad. That's where I'd stand there for just absorbing that for bloody ages
Maybe I've seen it too many times, but I think they blow their load in the main entrance because you go in and you see a load of stuff that used to be in OG White Dwarfs, and there's this tiny cabinet, and there's like the old Warhammer Quest diorama that they made ages ago, the thing that Mike McVeigh did of like the Emperor facing off against Horus, that's in that little cabinet. There's the OG Battle Wagon kit.
Oh yeah,
sitting there. There's like the Wood Elves when I'm running out of the trees and attacking skeletons diorama from Warhammer Fantasy from the old White Dwarf days, and I was like, oh wow, this is amazing. Then I go through the doors and then it's all the new stuff, and I'm just like, well, you guys blew your load. Like, I was really excited in there. Now it's just new things, and they are really great. They are really great displays. I'm not trying to say it's not good. It is really, really good, but I was just like, you should have saved this till last. Because I would spend the whole day looking at them and not give a shit about the rest of it.
I would also, I think I'd also want to spend a lot of time just walking around the tables to look at
people
all
playing,
the other models and armies and stuff, and just see the stuff.
The
because
tragic thing you'll realise is that these days they are pushing to get events there as often as possible so they can get ticket money. They were very, very keen on kind of making it harder and harder for visitors to just turn up and play nice games that have nothing to do with any official tournament.
Yeah, because
we used to do it every year, and
we used to do it twice.
To discourage us from bothering in the future.
Well, it's not that they were keen to discourage us. It got very weird. Like, so what we used to do was, myself and Dim, this is how we met. We used to be on the WA forum. So it was an Orc forum back in the day. And they used to do WA meetups. So it was a case of they'd meet up for a weekend. We'd rent rooms in Premier Inns, have Nerf Wars, play the fucking Orc only games the whole weekend, and then watch fucking shitty fucking animated films or whatever at the night time, and go to the pub the odd time and get fucking jarred. You know yourself.
It's a good time. I miss it.
But yeah, we used to be able to book. They were themed tables, so there was like I think the one we played on a lot was Jamagan Bridge, because it was just so big, and it was mostly open. Like that was a classic one. But they started phasing those tables out, and they wanted to put more and more standard tables in for events, which is it's a bit of a pity. But we should do that again sometime, Dim. That would be good crack, just for old time's sake. Just have a big mega battle in Warhammer. Because do you know the best thing about like mega battles or big apocalypse battles where it's just orcs versus orcs? Half the fun of it was seeing other people's conversions and other people's teams on their armies, and especially if they were like new and you didn't know. But even if you had your mates that you saw like last year, you'd come with something new. Do you know what I mean? You'd be like, oh, what did you do this year? Oh, I did this vehicle and this conversion looks cool. Like there was lads doing all sorts of stuff. There was Badfang was making he made a Stomper, but it was a gargant. It was looking like the way he made his stuff was crazy. You'd get like tins of beans, right? Wash them out, cut the tops and bottoms off, flatten the metal, and use the metal as a base template to then build. So he built, Jesus Christ, like he built this Stomper, and he'd sculpt milliput over it. So it was all made out of like spare solenoids and camera lens for an eye. But it looked amazing, man. Absolutely amazing stuff. And then like Gar, I remember Gar had a Blood Axe army, and like his plastic card work with vehicles was top notch as well. Like, and it was there's so much like. There was so much stuff, and it was great because everyone had their twist. Everyone's had their own flavor of orcs. So it's nice to see each army as individual. But then when they all come together and they're all on the board together, you've got like 8 players on each side, and you've just got nothing but orcs. It's just, I think that's like the pinnacle of the hobby for me, is seeing that many orc players knocking the absolute snot out of each other. And just it's just a celebration of the hobby to me. That's the pinnacle. That is
like the most fluffy game you can have, because it's like all the different orc tribes hearing the call to action and all mashed in together, leading a proper war of like accumulated all these orcs, and it's just like it's like the orkiest way to do battle, isn't it? Actually, it's peak orcdom. That is
peak hobby. I have to say that's the most fun I've ever had with wargaming, was when we did mega battles like that. Just enjoying it, like, you know what I mean? So that I think we need to do that in the future. It needs to happen.
Yeah,
big mega battle.
Oh yeah. Just do a one there. Just big mega battle and go nuts. Maybe more.
That'll make Dread pleased.
Yeah.
Might be a bit awkward. I've got 50,000 points of painted orcs. That'd be quite fun.
We could just put you one end and sit at the other, and there you go. Mega battle.
We'll just assist with your miniatures, like help you build them.
My entire army can just be your strategic reserves. A small scouting force to
put your entire army inside the Gargant. That'd be fun.
Wow.
I do. I have a funny picture. I don't have it with me now, but I have a picture of, because I used to fly over, I mostly had like infantry. I think there was one time where I brought vehicles over, which was hilarious. But I'd literally be throwing hordes of boys to try and slow Gargants down, and they're just being mullered just to try and stop them from getting to the other super heavy, because you'd have super heavies at either side. The way we organised it would be like you have 3,000 points and then like a big vehicle, or so you'd have like gargantuan squigots, stompers, custom battle fortresses, Gargants. Like you'd see stuff you just wouldn't see normally as well, and it was mint.
Oh, battle fortress! I've got to build me a battle fortress.
Definitely, I've one in storage. Like I said, I've a lot that needs to be dusted off and looked at. But it was just so cool. I think that's why I ended up buying so many Forge World vehicles, is because they had the Forge World store there, and we would play mega battles, so they'd actually get used. Do you know what I mean? Because there's no incentive to really push to buy something if you're just going to paint it and it doesn't actually get played with. There's nothing more like, you know, you've got yourself a big Baneblade and you had it for 10 years and you've probably used it twice. You
Never
know
seen the light of day. It's heartbreaking, isn't it?
It's like the poor miniature. What did it ever do to deserve such treatment? Like, you know, you can see the glory of the battlefield.
That's something I noticed last time I went to Warhammer World. There was a load of people there with Warlord Titans. There was a whole table full of, but none of them were painted. None of it. They were playing with like grey plastic and resin. I'm like, oh, that is so sad. So you got these epic miniatures. They got like 3 on each side, Warlords and like, you know, what they called the Warhound Titans and stuff. But none of them were painted. I was like, oh man, that's so disappointing.
I wouldn't even be surprised if they had the same loadouts. Presumably they had different guns though.
I have no idea, but yeah, it was just like, oh, that's a shame.
Well, this is the thing I loved about it as well when we were doing our own battles, is like we just make custom rules for some vehicles. So like Dribble Joy, DJ, he made a custom vehicle, but he had a template for it. So it was called the Custom Crawler Created. So they were crawlers. So basically think of like a Baneblade on steroids. It was like huge, like double track wide, big, huge fortress thing with like multiple guns coming out. Like, what did he have? He used the upper part. Yeah, he used the upper part of the Baneblade hull as the turret and had like 3 barrels coming out of it. So it was just this hilarious thing that had like guns everywhere. But it was like he made rules for it so that other people could also then build them if they wanted to. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, you know, the whole idea of just the community having fun itself, like, or even making rules for old school units that don't have rules anymore. You know, that's a thing that can be done. But yeah, the Plashammer. So it was another super heavy vehicle with a giant plasma cannon. Because his army was Badmune themed, and he specifically made like a Badmune themed codex. So you had some very custom units. Like, what did his Meganobs have, Dean? Did they have like power axes, was it, I think? Or something like that. It's kind of old school. Yeah. But, stuff that's not OP, but yeah, power choppers. Stuff that wasn't OP, but it added nice flavour to the game, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stuff that you wouldn't normally see. It's good crack.
I've just had a thought about my sound, so I'm going to try and fiddle with it. So keep chatting, but I am going to hide.
You see what you've done, Git man. You see what you've done. Oh, we've got some people in the comments section. Mostly Zens here. Red Cossack. We've got Dread. Dread? You're supposed to be in this, you fucker.
Yeah, what was the story?
Sitting back with his popcorn. He said, Yes, Dread is pleased. Sorry, won't join. Signal really bad. Ah, right. We'll let you off. Or has he let off the viewers? You know. Dread's also said that Dim is very quiet. Oh, and look, you're seeing the inner workings.
I had my microphone knocked off.
Oh,
no wonder people couldn't hear me.
Oh dear.
And we're back. Normal service has resumed. I mean, it resumed a few minutes ago. I'm watching it on delay here.
So yeah, chat, tell me if that is fixed. If that's better. Should be.
I've been watching the stream, but I've had it on mute so we don't get like audio feedback is the issue.
I've got the chat on my phone, so I should be able to see it, but yeah.
Popcorn.
Popcorn.
Has that gone from too quiet to too loud? Presumably it's gone from too
that's
quiet
funny,
to
I like that. Trent's sitting there eating his popcorn. Cossack, love it.
His microphone knocked off like losing your knob. Well, yeah, if the carpet's laid, you won't find it again. Better, but not the same as the volume as the others, apparently.
Right.
Well, it's better. It's better.
We'll
live with it.
At the rate we're going, if we
otherwise, a live video of Dim fucking digging about at wires and plugs and getting increasingly irate might actually be quite entertaining. Actually, now I'm saying it out loud.
What to them smash keyboards?
Yeah.
Fucking piece of shit, Mike.
Really glad. You know that video I was editing? Well, you know.
I filmed an entire video the other day and sound was completely fucked.
I've had that happen a few times.
Yeah, I tried to rescue it, but I was like, I'm just going to have to. And I wasn't entirely happy with it. I was quite low energy that night when I recorded it. And I think it sort of, or at least I feel like it was coming across in the video. I was trying to make the best of it. And then when the sound was like, just redo the whole fucking thing.
The sound was the final nail in the coffin for that thing, was it?
Yeah. If the sound had been all right, I'd have put it out and, but I think it'd probably work in my favour because when I re-record it and do it again, I'll probably do it better. So
I did that. I recorded a whole game of Blood Bowl with my son. We had a really good game and there was some epic moments in it, just laughing. But I filmed it on this like gimbal, new gimbal, and all the sound it picked up the motor of the gimbal. I was absolutely gutted. It was a great game. That would have been fun one to put out on the YouTube, but very disappointing.
That's a bummer.
Yeah,
I've had a few incidents like that happen. Me and Scar did an entire 2-hour episode of Bald Knobs, and that didn't record.
No.
Your phone melted pretty much, didn't it?
Yeah, it was overheated or something, and fucking then the file was corrupted, and that's it. Fuck, I'm like,
Oh man.
And it's hard with stuff like that because virtually very few of anything I've ever done on YouTube is scripted. It's just off the cuff, and so when you redo it, it kind of doesn't feel real because it feels like you're just kind of repeating what you said last time. Trying to cover all those great points you made the first time round, and it feels.
And in the process, you missed some other ones that you might have made, and It almost happened to us, didn't it? When you came over here for that game.
Oh yeah, what happened then? I can't remember what happened.
Trying to record the army list, wasn't it? And I thought I'd done it, and then I hadn't actually hit record.
Oh yes. This is true. Yes.
Oh shit! Luckily, we clocked it pretty quick.
Yeah.
It was close.
Yeah, it's like in a battle report. It's real because if you turn 3, fuck you, having so much fun playing the game, you forget to recap at the end of that, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, I did plenty of that. Don't worry.
I mean, Dread was doing plenty of that at the big boss battle. If I hadn't have been so bloody annoying to him, You'd have only had the first 2 turns of that game.
But he wouldn't have got past turn 1.
He was like, I'll film it, I'll do it. I'll
Well, do you know what? I think next time, we should all record a bit or something like that, so we get multiple perspectives. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Do you remember the bit from Aeroplane, right? Where it's all going, the film Airplane, it's all going to shit, right? And like it's
Don't
getting
call me
the drama's getting ridiculous, and in the control tower, things are going crazy. So Lloyd Bridges' character just like sniffs glue and gets stupidly high, and he's like hanging upside down from the ceiling, just looking down at everything completely disjointed. That was basically Dread about halfway through the battle, and for the rest of it.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on?
What was he doing again?
Dread says in the comments, piss off, Steve-O. You kept bloody saying it was a different turn to what it was. Yep, guilty as charged, Dread. But at least I remember to record the fucking thing.
He was trying to egg you on, Dread. Come on, we should be on turn 6 now. We've only just finished turn 1.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, trying to speed him up.
It was quite funny. I just remember us all waiting for Dread to finish his turn. It was always Dread we were waiting for. At the end of every turn, it was like, come on.
And it was deciding like things like, oh, I've got like 3 orc boys here. They're gonna should they fire at the tank or they're like, just fucking choose something and do it. It doesn't really matter.
It was funny. It was good. It was good fun. It was good times.
It was fucking brilliant.
Yeah. I can't wait to do it all again.
I love it. As soon as the game started, me and Dread were bickering because like he moves his truck up and I'm like, hey, I want to move my fucking truck there. You fuck off. You got the centre. But he had that obviously a massive building in the way, so he had to kind of go either side. Like we were like squabbling and fighting to get to Scar. Like oh, we had some great moments in that game though. It was like proper like swingy battle going on. Like
yeah, it was good.
Me taking Scar's bait, wiping out all his grots and the death gunners, and then
the curtain dropped and there was all
like 60 boys fucking charging at me. Like
I loved all the looters. Was it looters or cannons he had sitting behind there?
They were the zap guns that didn't get me a letter. Yeah, they saved the day. It's like,
yeah, you lured me in, got me like that, and then Dread came to the rescue, and then he just got fucking zap gun straight
annihilated.
In the face. Like this zap gun's firing. What zap gun? This one just threw on the window there.
Oh shit! Didn't see that one. Bollocks. I love the big boss battle as well with Dread's boss on his bike. That was brilliant. What a moment that was. That was great. Love it. Love it.
I only actually watched the small battle we had while you were playing Blood Bowl. I literally only watched that there yesterday.
Again. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
It was a good game, that.
Yeah, we were all quite low energy by then, weren't we? We didn't have much left to give.
How long did the mega battle last? Like 8 hours, 10 hours?
Yeah, we pretty much did an all-nighter, didn't we? And then got a few hours sleep and then finished it off again the next morning, didn't we? Or day,
I think we were still rolling dice at like 6 in the morning or so. It was stupid.
Yeah, it was well late.
It was quality though.
Yeah.
It was worth it, but like holy fuck. It was a good crack.
Was indeed.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, there we go. That's fuzzy as fuck. Oh great.
You weren't all the miniatures in front of the camera, then I would have been a bit worried with those things.
Dread says 2 middle fingers to the lot of you.
I mean,
He's only been like that because he knows we're right.
the unfortunate side effect of all of these is that that's not really going to work out too well because on Squigoffs don't have Gretchen ballistic skill for their big guns, so modeling.
It won't matter. Who
never
cares?
hit.
Does that bug you a little bit with like the rules, Dim? Like, even though you can just do it like that and that it look cool with the grots on there, the fact that it'll in game terms have the Orc ballistic skill, does that like niggle you a bit?
A little bit.
Same.
Would
to me as well.
I don't think it's strictly necessary, but I don't like this idea that you model something and you don't have some feeling of it in the game. Because the editions where I started, that was absolutely the case. If you modelled something, it was because there was an option, and that option did something no matter how small. And these days you get a load of people going, oh, just do it anyway, you know, even though it does nothing. And it's just like, yes, I probably will, but it's still nice to have the inducement.
I like that visually what's on the table is represented in its rules. Even if it's a counts as or something, I still like it to make sense. And
I suppose you want to be able to tell what something is and what it does at a glance without having to, oh, what's this actually equipped with? Tommy Mack was saying, who thought we would see a day when big guns were hard to see? Big guns. Well, Tommy, I was a bit of a cheeky fuck in that we hid them very sneakily behind a piece of terrain, and because there was so much going on, you know, this is another thing about big battles I really like. Little tiny units tend to get ignored if they're not doing anything. Like my weird boy that was in the ruins that just kept forgetting to shoot, and he was like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't get
your commando hiding in the pipe, wasn't he?
Yeah, the commando hiding in the pipe coming through the sewers. Correct.
I love taking Gretchen in mega battles.
People don't bother to shoot at them, really. I mean, unless there's nothing else. Like,
unless they're led by Bob,
principle.
Suddenly they become very become a prime target. Bob is my distraction Carnifex.
Distraction grot, literally.
Yep.
Well, mine was a grot mega tank.
Dim was very insistent on snagging Bob.
I mean, it was a special.
It was quite easy, so
you watch your whore mouth. Easy was the light work my Squiggle boys made of your grot tanks.
Well, Sid did some maths on that, and no matter how well you rolled, you shouldn't have been able to kill them in one turn.
Look, I said earlier, and I say it again. Fuck Sid. All right.
He's a big lad. You got your work cut out for you there, Steve. Huh? Oh, bless.
He's like a big northern teddy bear.
So what would you do for the next mega battle we do? What would you change, like rules-wise? Or scenario-wise? What would you change on that front?
I'd nerf Squighog boys, I think.
Not really. Not a lot. I think, like, just do something very similar, really.
I think a slightly bigger table would be better.
Yeah.
Just slightly.
Well, yeah. I mean, it'd have to be, because the next one's just, it's got to be bigger, isn't it? If you do another big battle, we can't go.
What's this? Are we going to end up with like 20,000 points each, like 10 years from now? Is this what's? It's just going to slowly escalate.
Your overconfidence in our productiveness is
definitely
will be your downfall. Yeah, I don't think I'm getting 20,000 points painted before I'm dead. I don't.
Yeah, you will.
I don't think I will, mate, if I'm honest. Built, maybe. I don't know what I've got built. I've got a lot of points built. I've got like way loads more stuff than what you see on the channel usually, because shit ton of unpainted stuff or half painted stuff.
It was way bigger than a 4x6 dread.
Way
bigger.
Do you know what? I think it was a 4x6 because I think it was my mat we used.
Yep.
And we each had
felt bigger than a 4x6.
We each had a 2x1.5 foot deployment zone, I think, something like that, or a 2x1.
It was fucking almost impossible to get.
I mean, it was so cramped in.
Quite cramped.
Yeah.
And could
but you know what?
Fucking building in the middle of the board didn't bleed in hell.
Even
6 by 8 would be good, Dread. Yeah.
I still couldn't get.
Do you know what though, man? I think it was for the points we had and the board we had. I think it was the perfect size.
Yeah, we got the action pretty quick, didn't we?
And I think it filled the board nicely. And once we had the first cut, once we'd both done turn one, we'd spread out across the board and just mashing in the middle. And it started opening up opportunities for deep strike and stuff with Scars Commandos.
Oh, I was laughing. Me and you were fighting away, and then a turn or two later, we look up at the other end of the table and we're like, "Where'd all the miniatures gone?" Everything was just being fucking motorized. I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah, it was good fun. Great fun.
I
think rules wise, just do very similar. I love the fact that we each had our own little fluffy secondary objectives and stuff, and that fit our armies, our characters. It was added a little bit of depth to it without it being too much to remember, and we could just focus on having fun. It was very simple, and I think simplicity is. I can't believe I don't do that at tournaments. I just think surely a fast pace. You got to get your game done, get on to the next one. Surely simplicity in the mission structure is paramount to that, rather than all that bookkeeping. And the way we did it was, I think it was 3 points for an objective, or maybe 5. It was 1 point for every unit you killed, and we had some bonuses like slay the warlord and shit like that, and then our own secondary, which we all only had to remember one each because we each had our own single one that we had. And
I think slay the warlord's good, and then it used to be, was it getting in the deployment zone? Was it behind enemy lines? They're just simple. They're just nice, simple. That's it.
It doesn't have to be really wordy. Kill the enemy warlord, get this many points. Cool. Nice. Everyone can remember that. Not, if you do this in this way, you get this. And if you do this, and this gets scored here and this gets scored there. I mean, I think that the secondaries in 10th edition are better than 9th, but it still, to me, is
overcomplicated for no reason.
Yeah. And I just think it's, considering they're trying to make the game much more mass market and draw new players in and more people, and they keep talking about it. What's the terminology I use?
Streamline.
There's got a saying where it's like simple, not simplistic, or something. Or
keep it simple, stupid. Is it KISS?
No,
that's what they should be learning. But...
That's that. Yes, that is what they should be learning.
Or at least, actually, I'm still thinking. I kind of like complicated games. Like, I'm biased.
Yeah, but not complicated for the sake of complicated. Like ones with nuance to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Depth is good. I don't mind complexity. They think it's too complicated to add up all your points, so they've streamlined that. So the unit, that's the points it is, and that's it. They think people are, we make that simple but then you make the fucking mission
game,
so sort of wordy, and it's not. You've always got to stop and read. You've always got to stop and look at and it just doesn't need to be.
You can't ever remember the objectives because they're so wordy, aren't they?
Yeah,
you have to look them up each time.
Yeah, and it's all boils down to the sort of stuff we've always been doing in games: capturing quarters, capturing objectives, killing characters. We're doing the same thing, and we did it before without pointlessly over worded things. It's just so yeah, but I just the house rule that shit, and you just have a much more fun game.
What's happened with the Marine Codex? Have they brought points back, or is it still like it was with the data cards?
Well, the Tyranid one was first, wasn't it? And yeah,
right.
It's still just it's the same. So I think that's what we've got for this edition now. I don't foresee them going back. I think the community, from what I've seen, like seems to be sort of 50-50 split. Like some people just go, I prefer it. It's just quicker and easier. And I used to quite like. I don't hate it as much as I thought I would.
Yeah, it's a shame that.
I would prefer to go back, but it's not bugging the fuck out of me as much as I thought it would.
The only thing is you don't have the nuance like we were saying the other night. You just don't have that. You got 5 points spare or 10 points. There's nothing in the army. We can just I'll knock off one boy and then I can make it out there. And
and it was nice, wasn't it? If like with boys, if you'd go like, do I want just a minimum squad to fill out the troop slot, just a squad of 10, or do I want a squad of 12 because I want them in a truck and I want the maximum
exactly that
fit in a truck, or do I want 20, or do I want 30, or I haven't got enough points for that, so I'll just have 25. Like
exactly.
I used to like my tank busters.
I won't take a big shooter. I've got 5 points spare. Let's slap a big shooter on that guy.
Or I've bit over points. I'll just take the big shooter off that fella and or take a power claw off him and swap it for a big chopper.
For a big chopper or something. Yeah, exactly that. Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit of a pain. But
it can. The new thing they've got going, I think, can work, provided if you're gonna have all these options just be free, they all have to be. They've all got to have something to offer. You can't just have one gun clearly be shit compared to another one. There's got to be like, well, if I have that one, it's more powerful. But if I have that one, I get more shots. Or that one's better against infantry. They've got to be.
They've got to have a point to them. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's got to be balanced, basically. And they see, for the most part, it seems like they've done an okay job at that. But there are some glaring things where it's like, well, no one's ever going to take that option.
Oh, hello, Grotseekers.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think like if against one very specific kind of list, Grotzuka would be really good. But
kill saw, power claw kind of thing. The kill saws just don't do anything special now, do they?
I'm trying to remember what the differences are between them now. One's got a better AP and one does a lot more damage or something, is it? Or
like no, they both do the same.
It's like it's just it's nothing boring. Nothing boring.
Kill saws always used to be a bit better against vehicles, and power claws were always a bit better against infantry, weren't they?
Yeah.
So that always used to kind of seem to work.
I've always liked big choppers.
Yeah.
I just I think they get overlooked sometimes. I think they're quite good. Just hitting on that higher ballistic skill, weapon skill. You know, with them not having the -1 that power claws come with, and they just look cool. I think I like boss or whatever just swinging a big chopper about. Like, I think it looks cool. Power claws look cool as well. But...
I've always liked a power claw. Power claws always been my thing for a boss knob.
Yeah. Do you know what we always love though? Taking a unit of knobs and they're absolutely like basic bitch, just like slug it and chop it, and then seeing your mate's face like in previous editions when you turn around and you know you get into close combat with him and he's like, all right, how many attacks? And I'm like, 50. He's like, what? Yeah, 50.
Shit. Yeah.
But they're just knobs. I'm like, yeah. And they're 2 ounces a piece and good fucking luck. Oh man, I've had that. It's good crack.
Yeah, it was weird in the last edition, wasn't it? It was like the old the knob in the boys squad never had the 4-up save, where all the boss knobs in the thing had the 4-up save. That was always a bit weird for me.
I find it weird that they can't take because of the addition I built my one in. So my shooter boys knobs with their power claws all have shooters because you used to be able to give them shooters. You know, just so I'd have a shooter going in with the shooter boys because obviously the shooter boy knob would have been a shooter boy, and then you know he stayed with the boys. But it's not like that anymore, and that irks me a little bit. Not much, but it's just like, oh, you know.
Yeah, like we don't. Not many things have access to the custom shooter anymore, do they? Even back, even when you still,
bog standard one.
Well, yeah, being having that with the option was cool, but like, yeah, I was quite. I had a lot of my knobs armed with custom shooters because if there's shooter boy knobs, you think like, well, he's gonna have the best shooter. So custom shooter, he's but then now we just have the option of the then we had just the option of the combi Scorcher, combi rocket, and now we just got the option of just a combi weapon, which I really hope they fix that because that's just
because
it doesn't work.
Boys. I like the Rocket Boys, like and Scorcher and
give us back a proper Scorcher because they've tried to get a one stat line that fits two incredibly different weapons.
Yeah, one's close and up and personal for infantry. Yeah. One's a rocket you can shoot from halfway across the battlefield.
And it just doesn't work.
It's fucking lazy is what it is. If they're going to get to the point where it's like, right, you're only allowed to have options that you can literally make from the kit, then they have to give you all of those options. They can't be doing this halfway house of whatever they feel like at the time. Like, I think probably the worst of it, though, even worse than the Mega Knobs, is the Grot Mega Tank.
No, the poor tank busters, man. The tank busters are
tank busters. Yeah,
the tank busters don't have options at all. They're just bad.
That's why they've been shafted. Fucking tank hammers and pistols. What's there, like 3 rockets in the unit now? Well, you can only take them in groups of 5, is it?
Yeah, but they're not being consistent.
That's a load of bollocks.
They're not being consistent though, because even when you've got a squad that actually does have options, and those options are represented by a kit, and you can easily get those options, they're not providing you with the actual rules for those options. They're giving you this stupid abstract halfway house. Well, I'll just not bother them.
Are our boys still a thing, or are they gone?
No, they're gone. They went ages ago.
Yeah, they were always.
Tell you how often I'm playing 40k these days, huh? Jesus. But like back in my day, it was like you bought units of boys, you'd put big shooters in the unit, you'd save up your rocket launchers, and once you got 10 of them, you know, and a knob, there you go, tank busters, sorted.
Yeah.
But no more. Philbrock.art says he misses the dual choppy knobs.
2 choppers, double chopper knobs.
Double chopper knobs. Oh, I used to be able to do some weird stuff, man, like paint boys on bikes and big mechs on bikes and stuff with like custom force fields and stuff. Be able to do crazy stuff. What am I missing here? That's that round.
Well, as you'll see on the upcoming Bald Knobs episode,
stop giving it away.
We'll talk about that in more detail.
Don't be telling them shit. Say nothing. But you'll have to watch on Sunday to find out. What's Clint got there? Are they magnetized arms?
That's what Steve-O's building, I think, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah, that's the exact one. Is that the resin one? Is it?
Yeah.
It's mad. It literally looks exactly the same. I'm sure there are probably
that's
some
my
subtle differences.
That's my bastardized one.
Sweet. Is that from the Hellbrute, is it? Oh no, it's
no, that's the Mythic Blight Hauler and the Redemptor Dreadnought. Smashed them together and made a.
Yeah, it's way too big to be the old Hellbrute. Looks wank though, man.
It's horrible.
Kill it with fire! Kill it with fire! Where's the Burnham boys when you see them?
Yeah.
expect bits of it to melt off like the thing. You know,
Popping and bubbling, yeah. Quite
yeah,
my Death Guard
Nurgle will be a fun army to.
Dredd was saying, if you want to run the Ard Boys, we can just agree an extra point or two per boy. Yeah. Yeah, no, do you know what it was? It was a case of, like, I think I made, like, a unit of 12 of Ard Boys because I used to, so that way you'd get so many shoulder pads.
Yeah.
And I'd save up the shoulder pads, the helmeted heads.
Always helmeted, yeah.
The torso with the metal plate.
Yeah.
There was like one or two with metal plates front and back, and I used to save them. I think I made like a unit of 12 of them just specifically to be Ard Boys for back in the day.
Nice. I did exactly the same because I had loads of I've got way more Slugger Chopper Boys that I never use, but they're all like basic stripped down, and then my Shooter Boys I've got the best armor because I'm like, well, these are the kind of in my mind they're the elite, they're the, you know, they've got the best armor, the best guns, and then like I sort of thought of the Slugger Chopper Boys as being like the youths. Like, well, yeah, low ranking boys, like climbing up through the ranks. You know?
Because if you look at the shooters, it's basically a slugger with a barrel on it. So like they start off with a slugger, and once they've got themselves a bit of dash and a bit of weapon pipe, you know what I mean? They move up in the world.
Bang a barrel on it, yeah.
Yeah, sword.
I used a load of marine shoulder pads on my Ard Boys. They'd looted off the battlefield, yeah. Got a load of like
fucking bastard
Space Wolves, and yeah, just robbed them off my brother, off his army.
Don't to build his unit. Where's all the shoulder pads gone?
I've robbed them all off him, yeah.
And then, do you know what I love about that is, like, if you have a mate that you play against often, that you paint up the shoulder pads and bits of armor in his color scheme, like just to rub salt in the wound. It's like, remember that rhino I blew up last game? It's like, yeah, now it's been killed by the knob. That's
fun. One of his tracks. That's a shoulder pad on my knob now. Yeah,
exactly. Or the heads on the banner poles, the Space Marine heads. It's like, do you remember your commander last time, Real? Hey, I painted this one up.
There he is.
There he is. We can have great fun with it.
And it's quality though if you both do that, innit? They put like dead orcs on their bases and stuff, or, you know, dreadnoughts crushing an orc in their hand or stamping on one or whatever. And
or the orc skull that we have that comes
really represents the rivalry that you have, like
in
the armies on the table, like bit of rivals that have fought each other, you know, over and over in a, you know, all out war. Like, it's awesome. Yeah, that's cool.
That's one of my brothers. Yeah, it's just Ghoul's egg.
And it, am I right? Is like the full artwork of him? Was it like? Is that what he's like? Am I just remembering that there was artwork of him once like stood over a marine? Like
it possibly. I don't know.
That was good. It's Gorka Morka art. So we were stood over like a big rock or something on a desert planet. If I remember correctly. I'm sure Dame's going digging for the book now.
Yeah.
Which book?
He's always digging for a book.
The one, I think, is it the other book that has the Game Stain knob art? Like the one they turn into the Game Stain knob? It's either the Rills or the other book. I can't remember. I don't have them to hand at the moment.
I got to get me some of the Gorka Morka knobs and that, because there's just a lot of the Gorka Morka stuff is I think really holds up and is like the the earliest sort of rendition of that new style, wasn't it?
Yeah, they were really good sculpts,
and they still fit now. Like I really like another one from Gorka Morka that I really like is the Mech Boy, just the simple Mech Boy with the bag and everything about. He's a cracking looking miniature, and would totally fit in with today's orcs and look like he's meant to be part of them.
I don't know where my Gorkamorka books have gone to, but I'm pretty sure it is the other book.
For me, my favourite sculpts from that era are the Gretchen. They're just mint. Like the Banner Wave, the Head Honcho, the Red Gobbo was nice as well. But even just the bog standard Gretchen, they just look nice. They're just really nice sculpts. I mean, I like that they took inspiration for the plastic box set off of them, but they're not as good. You know what I mean?
They definitely need to do some more Gretchen, don't they? Because all the little Gretchen they've done for like the buggy kits and all that, they're always really good and characterful.
Yeah,
like the little guys they really need to do another squad, a new mob of Gretchen.
I still think we should have Grot snipers by now.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Or better yet, Grot rebels, but I doubt that's happening.
Yeah, it might be a detachment in the new codex. You never know.
I seriously doubt it.
I think
Grot rebel snipers.
How often Gretchen get like nerfs and underwhelming rules these days? Someone in head office really doesn't like Gretchen.
I think the new guy must like them because they're pretty damn good at the minute.
Yeah. It's the biggest boost they've had in their codex for a while, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, no, they're genuinely, I mean,
but
Essex, what you did to me with, in our game with Zodgrod and his big mob of grots, fucking hell. I was like, how fucking far do they move? Shit. There's a fucking, charged over and wiped out all my shooter boys.
Oh, it was lovely.
Man, it's small fucking wonder that, like, Zodgrod makes Gretchen so fucking good. Like, now I know why the regular Gretchen rules are so bloody underwhelming, because he's like flipping 27 quid on his own.
Is he?
No, he's in the box set, wasn't he?
To be fair, just the grots on their own are good now as well. They've got a really good role and they can, farm you extra CP and shit. It's a nice little fluffy rule. I like that. It's
so nice cheap. You've got to fill out your force, isn't it? Actually does something. Do you know what I mean? It's a cheap unit, but
and they all benefit from it. Do you remember when they didn't benefit from the war or anything? Now they benefit from all that now, and they just so when the war they go.
They should have done that from the start. Like I'm still annoyed that they never benefited from clan rules.
Yeah.
Because like the idea that they're just Gretchen, using the same logic of Chaos Cultists aren't worthy, and it's like. It's not a question of being worthy, it's a question of buying into the ideology. And, like, Gretchen buy into the ideology probably more than most orcs do. It made absolutely no sense whatsoever that they wouldn't enthusiastically join in as much as they possibly could. Just didn't make any sense whatsoever.
Whilst running away.
Was it Saga of the Beast, wasn't it? Gave the grot mob sort of detachment thing.
I only got to use because I played you guys. That's the only reason I even got to use it once.
Yeah, well, and I think we house ruled that as well, didn't we? Because we were then on a later edition by then. Because I think that was 8th, so we sort of house ruled it and basically did the whole thing back.
What a colossal waste of money that book was in every possible way. Not only did it never get to see use, it was like the only time that I think my army ever felt fluffy in the entirety of 8th and 9th.
Hey, I bought the special edition one, mate.
Yeah, well,
my wallet was crying.
More fool you on that one.
To be fair though, I do quite like that book. I do like some of the lore and the stories in it, and I do quite like it. No, we know you don't do. But after the travesty that was Battle for Vedros, it was like a breath of fresh air. It was it had an easy act to follow because that book was a yawn fest.
Well, Battle for Vedros.
Oh, it was so dull. It had nothing. It was just.
I think the last one I got to read was what was it, Imperial Nihilist or some fucking.
Yeah.
And the plot, the writing for that was just hot garbage. I'm like, who wrote this? An 8-year-old? What the?
The last one I've got, the good one, was the Red War. That was good. I quite like that.
Yeah, that was a good while ago, though.
Yeah, that was a good while ago, but it's good book.
I mean, all campaign stuff is very rarely good. Because
they keep sticking chaos on the end of the bastard.
We're building early. Yeah, there's we could call it the Orc loop, right? We're built up as a big threat, and then we're a sideshow. You know, all turns out we were a distraction.
They really should flip the script on that, because, like, in the Space Marine game, the computer
they
game,
did the same thing in the Space Marine game.
They do, but they flip it around some ways. Like when he's there facing off against the big chaos boss and that, and they're about to have the big showdown, and then boom, big old Warboss comes in and just fucks shit up. And it's like that's. I would like to see it done in that way. Like, you know, there'd be the orcs come in, and just because there's obviously, you know, everyone else got like a reason to fight and politics and fucking whatever, and the orcs just come in and just fight everyone. Just
you know what? I was a travesty in that game. I think it was terrible that you couldn't play an orc in the multiplayer version. That you should have been able to. It would have been fun. Would have been easy to do as well. I think that was the only thing that was missing.
It was a fun game, though. It was
a good game. It was a good game, but I think it could have been made better, just a little bit better.
Yeah. You know, I did play a little bit of that multiplayer, actually. I did enjoy that. It was good fun. I like the Dreadnought mode on it thing, when you ever become the Dreadnought is targeted by everyone else. And
I think there was one where it was like there was more rounds of your enemies kept coming, and you were trying to survive or something.
Yeah. A game that it was an old Warhammer Fantasy game on PC. One of the big battle games. I can't remember what one it was.
Dark Omen?
No, it was later than that. No, later than that. Both incredible games. I got so much nostalgia for both of those games. Played them to death. No, it was a bit later than that, because it had CGI. No, before that. Battle March, it was called. And there's, if you just check out the trailer, the opening intro for Battle March, it's an Empire city being overrun by chaos warriors. Are like they're slaying everyone, and you see everyone retreating. They've smashed down the castle they're in. And this Chaos Lord comes striding through as they've got like victims down on their knees, about to have their throats slit or whatever, and he just sort of gives the nod to kill them, and he goes strolling off all calmly, and then suddenly he hears this rumble, and it's almost like the T-Rex scene, Jurassic Park. You see the puddles move, and then the Chaos Lords are just walking away as these last Empire bloody warrior fighters are about to be killed, and then just stops and pauses, and everyone turns around, looks at the gate, and you hear this boom, boom, and the gate just smashes open with this fuck off troll, and just comes smashing, swinging side to side, knocking everyone flying, and Chaos Lord gets battered to the side and wakes up, and there's all disorientated. You sort of see it from his point of view, and he just looks up, and then through the mist, just orc boys charging in, just clobbering everything. You see one just holding his big thing up above his head, just mashing over and over again like a Chaos Warrior on the ground. Like it's the most perfect way I've ever seen orcs like represented in a thing of just the brutality is graphic, and it's just this. It's fucking brilliant though, and you just see like, oh, you think you're the big bad, do you? Yeah, we got fucking news for you, and just come in and just fuck everything up. And you can almost feel like the Chaos Lord's just like, who the fuck are these idiots? It's my big fucking moment.
He's like, hold my coffee.
Yeah.
Typical green skin stealing the limelight, huh?
Yeah, and just not giving a fuck, just coming in clobbering both of them.
It's like, oh, there's a fight over here. Well, where the fuck was my invitation, huh?
Yeah. I love that shit. I think fantasy orcs. I love fantasy orc lore, and
I loved their sculpts. I really loved their sculpts back in the day, but I just couldn't collect them because they had the worst army rule ever. Animosity. And it was such a shit fucking rule. Like, I love the orcs, I love their lore, I love the army book, but literally that one rule stopped me from collecting them for fantasy. Because I was like, what's the point in collecting an army when I have to roll every turn and they're stupid, they do nothing and they do damage to themselves. Like, that sort of game mechanic I thought was shite. And I've always thought when it comes to orcs in the lore, or people are like, oh, orcs fight themselves. Yes. When there's nobody else to fight, orcs will fight amongst themselves. When there's a whole battlefield of enemies, you just point them and away they go. Like, this whole idea of, they fight each other on the battle. No, mate, they've something to be directed towards. It's when there's nothing, or the leader is being killed, and then they sort of fight amongst themselves to see who the new boss is, and then they go on. But this whole idea of, orcs fight amongst themselves, that's always pissed me off. Always pissed me off. It's like the dumbest fucking rule that's ever existed. I just don't like rules where someone is punished, where their army is inflicted damage for no reason. Like some of the Tyranids in various editions as well. Like if they're not in Synapsis range, they'd be like, oh well, they attack each other. It's like, well, why the fuck?
It goes all animalistic.
Why would they attack each other? They'd either stay still, shoot, or attack something else. Why would they attack themselves? Like, it's just dumb. But in the same way, I like it when it's done properly. I collected vampire accounts and Tomb Kings, and once you kill the characters, because the characters were like the linchpin of the army, then the unit started to fall apart.
Yeah,
that was done well. You know what I mean? Because your opponent had to do something for that to kick in.
Well, like,
you know what I mean?
Necrons in 3rd edition, and when you killed over 75% of the army, the whole army would phase out. So like it was a great equalizer as well, because it was like they were really fucking hardy and tough, and they just kept getting back up and shit. And it's like it could feel like unfair, but then it's like but you kill enough of them, they wipe out, and you win the game instantly. It was always like a. But I loved like how fantasy orcs were. They felt very. They had a lot of similarities, obviously in the looks, fully compatible kits, which was incredible. But the lore-wise, they were very unique and felt very different from 40k orcs in a lot of respects.
Oh, no, they were different. Like, you know what I mean? It wasn't just orcs that came from the fantasy world.
Orcs with a C
were the same as the 40k ones. They were different.
Goblins are very different to Gretchen as well.
Yeah. Do you know what I really loved? The metal stone trolls sculpts.
Yeah.
I thought they were some of the best miniatures ever. Like, such great sculpts. They had some absolutely cracking sculpts for orcs.
I think both from I think the river trolls are really good as well.
The river trolls are nice, but I always liked the character of the stone trolls. Because I remember like there was little sort of caricatures in the 5th edition rulebook, and they were so nice and characterful, and I just like the aesthetic of the stone trolls, the blue and the light grey stomach, like they just look really good.
They do look badass. Wasn't one of them picking its nose?
I can't remember.
Or was that the one from Blood Bowl? I feel like I remember one picking its nose. Maybe it was
Blood Bowl, but the stone trolls all had like rocks or like
Ripper Bullgrot.
Yeah. Like they were really good. But like the Black Orc sculpts, like I think it was about 5th, 6th edition Black Orcs. Those sculpts were fucking amazing, man. Some of the best orc sculpts I've ever seen, ever. Like
they've got really cool lore behind them as well, like how the Chaos Dwarves created them and stuff. Like, yeah. And there's some of their characters are fucking awesome as well in the army. The character lore with them, like who was the fella that rode I think he rode the with, and he had the crown of Nagash or whatever on his head. That's it. Yeah, cool story.
Grimgore Ironhide as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, getting bored fighting the Skaven. Just
From the punch on his chariot.
Oh, Grom the Paunch, fucking awesome character. Just again, cool backstory, eating the troll flesh, which gives him the thing and a big fat gut.
You keep regenerating in your stomach, that's why he's fat, like, yeah.
And the
yeah,
fact that he was such a hench for scary motherfucker that even orcs would like follow him into battle and lead him, like quality. Definitely, I think drew some inspiration from like the Goblin King, from
I mean, like, there was
the Hobbit.
Do you know what I really liked about those orc armies was you could have different themed armies all in the one book. So like you could have someone who just did like a Night Goblin army, and you'd know that there was going to be fanatics all over the bleeding shop, like. And then you could have like a hardcore sort of like Black Orc army. You could have like Goblin Wolf Riders. You could have like Savage Orcs. You know what I mean? Like the boar riders, and then just savage old boys themselves. Like there was so much in those army books back in the day. Like it wasn't just like one set way of doing things. I mean, the thing with me was like I'm trying to remember. Well, I still have me dwarf army. I went with dwarfs because I just thought they were cool. I loved the Slayers, the dwarf Slayers. I thought they were mint because I remember people. I remember like older guys in the Games Workshop. They're like, "Oh, you're not using them right. They're only supposed to like hold your lines because they're unbreakable." Because what I'd do was I'd find a hill, stick all my artillery on it, shoot at you for 2 tons, and then start charging you down with a dwarf army. And people were like, "Well, what are you doing?" You know, I mean, it works. I send the Slayers forward, man. They get the kicks and ass.
I mean,
it used to be great.
The tragedy of Warhammer Fantasy was always the people who played it, in my opinion. They ruined it, really.
It just depends.
Tournament people again. You seen a pattern yet?
I used to have great fun with the Vampire accounts, just raising units from nothing, or just I don't know. I just really liked that team. It wasn't like uber powerful, but it was just fun. I just liked the team of them. I went for the. See, this was back in the day when you could have different sort of houses leading your different strains of vampire, and you could pick all of their equipment and stuff. I think I went for the Blood Dragons. They were like the knightly orders sort of vampires. They were really fucking cool. Yeah,
proper Harryhausen-esque skeleton warriors, which are just always awesome.
Yeah.
Really don't like the new skeletons that they've got because you can't get those old ones anymore, which is a real shame.
Yeah, no, I think they're good. I like the simple skeletons. Just literally a skeleton holding a sword and a shield. I just think there's something really cool looking about that.
That box set, the previous skeleton box set that they had was nice. Because it was all ball and socket and stuff for the arms.
Yeah.
So you could do a lot, and then like you got a lot of the tombstones with it as well. So if you saved up enough of them, you could do like I think they even had it in the army book where someone had a unit of skeletons, but it was progressive in that like some of them were coming out of the ground, and as you went into the back ranks of the unit, they'd like come further and further out of the ground. So it was really cool looking. You had guys climbing out of graves, and then guys halfway out, and then the back couple of ranks. So it's still got sods of turf on their skeleton heads and their shoulders or whatever, but they're out of the ground. That sort of stuff. It's really cool. I think I used what were they called? Flagellants. I used the plastic flagellants for spirit hosts. I think they were pretty cool. Good conversions.
I can't remember what I used for spirit hosts.
I should really see if I have these and dig them up and see what.
I always think of Dim as a flagellant. Whenever he sort of enjoyed a bit of Warhammer or Games Workshop, I think he sort of has to punish himself afterwards.
They used to have great fun.
I mean, yeah, facts.
Dim.
Oh yeah.
Flem.
Hack Flem, yeah.
Pack Flem Shuttle Spike.
Yeah. Yeah, he's gonna get a run out tomorrow night. My son's gonna play the Skaven tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
I'm
He's
gonna play
playing
the
like a
Undead
tournament,
Brigade.
or do you still one-offs?
Nah, just a little exhibition game. Yeah.
Cool.
Set up the
Fuck.
stadium. Have a little game.
Why not, man?
I'm totally ballsing up this build at the moment. Got right through building one of the guns of this thing and then realised that I'd forgotten a bit that goes right in the middle of it. So I've had to pry it back open. But luckily, you can just about manage to pop the bit in there without completely ripping the thing apart and potentially ruining it. Seem to have just about got away with it. I built the gun and I'm like, hang on a minute, I'm missing 2 barrels here.
Nothing worse.
2
I had to
barrels
double
short
check.
of a gun.
When I was putting the awesome together, I had to double check that I was putting the right shins on the right leg. Do you know what I mean? Because the slightly different detail and the same with the feet. It's like there's nothing worse than gluing your legs on the wrong way around, you know? Why is his left leg his right leg? And his right leg is left leg. I'm like, he must have woke up on the wrong side of the bed, you know?
Right. What am I doing? You absolute bellend.
Doesn't sound like it's going well.
It's salvageable, but fucking hell, I really ballsed up here. Right, come on, you fucker, just get in there. There. Oh, that went in quite easy. There you go. That's sorted. Cool. Right. Back to it. It's a very intricate kit, this. It's got quite a few, I don't know.
What kit are you putting together?
The Leviathan Dreadnought.
Started a Space Marine Army, Skull.
Yeah. 3+ Stevo now.
Sure.
No, what was it? Roxy used to call me? 3+ Stephen. My evil alter ego.
3+ Stephen.
And you think you know a guy, yeah? Then he starts
you don't want to associate with 3+ Stephen. That guy's a right brick.
He's playing Ultramarines as well. Can you believe it?
Yeah, proper power gamer.
Just to piss the Space Marine players up.
He wears a t-shirt saying "I love Matt Ward."
Spiritual leadership.
It was quite good. We were talking about Warhammer Fantasy Goblins, and I restrained the urge to point out that he wrote the shittest orc fantasy book, and in the article that declared him as a lore expert, he pointed out that he nerfed the orcs and goblins for lore reasons.
Yeah, because he's a high elf player.
Yeah.
So he doesn't like them. I picked up he was a high elf player when I read the 8th edition rule book, and there was a rule in the book that said high elves always hit force, no matter what, even if your opponent also has that hit force rule, high elves always hit. And I'm like, this looks like the game designer specifically likes this faction. And then I found out afterwards, lo and behold, it's like, Jesus Christ, man.
Oh, what a surprise.
I missed 6th ed. I think 6th ed, like 5th and 6th ed. 6th edition was the edition of Warhammer Fantasy that I played the absolute nuts out of. I played some with 7th, not as much. And then when 8th edition came around, I stopped playing at that stage pretty much.
What edition was Skull Pass?
7th.
That's the edition I tried. And I had I had 2 sets of the Goblin army that came in that. We went 50-50, and I had the goblin half of his set, and he fought the dwarfs, and yeah, that was a fantastic starter set, like a great set.
Yeah, because 4th edition was like High Elves and Goblins.
Mm-hmm.
5th edition was like the Bretonnian and Lizardmen. 6th ed was Empire and Orcs. Yeah, 7th was Battle for Skull Pass. And I don't even remember what the 8th edition box set was.
I think it was High Elves and Goblins again. That was the last edition, I think. Or was it High Elves and Skaven?
Yes, no, you're right. It was
High Elves and Skaven?
Elves and Skaven, I think. Yeah. But no, when 8th edition came around, I read the rule book and I realized they were making you make your unit buy bigger units in order to get your like rank bonuses. And I saw that like miniatures were getting bigger and bigger, so it was a case of like monstrous cavalry started becoming a thing, and then like there was a lot more emphasis on big monstrous creatures. And I like the whole rank and file of Warhammer Fantasy, so I was like, oh, there's no point in playing this anymore. I can sort of see what direction it's going in, and I was right. You know what I mean? I knew it was going. It was going in a massive direction when you're looking at the likes of Nagash, and like some of the miniatures were huge, like because they were trying to do what they did with 40k with fantasy, where they saw how popular Apocalypse had been, and they wanted to emulate that with Warhammer Fantasy, which is why you started getting like these big, massive central piece things to your armies. And I don't know, I've never really been drawn to that sort of thing, because it's, in my eyes, I don't like miniatures that are overposed if you're using them for war games. Because you're like, okay, I want to play a game with these miniatures. How the hell am I going to transport it? Like, you know what I mean? Whereas I can understand people buying miniatures and they're just going to paint them and put them on the shelf. Then they can be as, you know, aerodynamic as you want them to be, or, you know, doing all sorts of mad poses and stuff. But I've always sort of been a bit more reserved in that regard, because it's like, in my eyes, the miniatures are playing pieces, if you get me.
Yeah.
So you need to be able to transport them. Otherwise, what's the point, you know? You
probably notice it more than most as well, because you have to get on a bloody aeroplane sometimes to come and play.
Yeah, this is it, yeah. This is why I bought 2 hard cases. I have 2 of them. So normally I bring one, but I do have a second. I mean, they're all full of battle mechs at the moment, but you know yourself. Well, try and get some custom foam fit so I can bring more than just Orc boys.
Yeah.
Well, you can tell that GW doesn't understand the concept of logistically bringing miniatures to the game. You just need to look at Age of Sigmar, which just seems to create a coterie of fucking problems. I don't know how anybody who likes the Luminef stuff transports it for a game, because all of it is designed to go, fuck you in your desire to transport this army.
Keith Gross is asking in the chat, what is the awesome looking walking machine thingy? I think he means behind you, Clint.
That's the start of my Gargant. That's what that is. It's just been sat there for too long. It's got a head, and that's about it. I'll bring it in a bit closer. Don't know if you can see that on there. I don't know.
We got a Nerf gun for an arm, is it?
Yeah, full Nerf gun.
Nice.
Move that. It does. It does spin.
Have you got it on a lazy Susan?
Yeah, it's on like a lazy Susan, but it's got legs to go underneath that, so the torso will spin on top of the. Yeah, it's got some big tracks to go under here, so it's going to go about another half a foot taller again, maybe a foot.
As you're building and designing this, are you taking into account like that it can be sub-assembled for transport?
Yeah, the head removes, the arms come off, the torso will come up. Yeah, so it'll all come apart. Yeah. It's got LEDs inside it and stuff as well, and yeah, a little control tower lights up, and there's a little scene inside there. I'll do a video one day.
Oh, sweet. So there you go, Keith. You got a preview before it's even
Sneak
being
peek.
finished. Sneaky peeky.
Yeah. It'll get there one day. I'll get it done. I'll get it done one day.
I have all the faith in the world, which
It'll get done. It'll get done.
Right, what time did we start this stream at? 9 o'clock, was it? We're coming up on about 5 minutes to 11. So do we want to wrap up at the 2-hour mark, or what do we want to do?
I'm easy.
I've got to chip off soon because I've got to be in work at 6 a.m. tomorrow. So
Jesus.
Yeah.
Early riser.
Yeah, I did a 12-hour day today. I'm a bit like, oof. Yeah, it's been a long one.
Running on fumes and caffeine.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, a little bit today. Keith's just saying if his comes apart, it's because he's dropped it.
Yeah.
Love it.
I bought a small Gargant that needs repairing, but it doesn't sub-assembly, so I think it needs like extensive rebuild and rework. But I'll have to do a video on that eventually as well.
Yeah, you will, because it's fucking Lil Cruiser.
Yeah, it's so cool.
It's like it's you know, Ork internet history. That
I think it's probably about 20 years old at least, isn't it?
Wow.
Oh yeah, God yeah.
Oh yeah, like it started off life in the UK, then it got flown over to the States, and it played through a few. It got used quite a lot in apocalypse battles.
In battle reports, I remember there's a very favourite quote of mine of just like a picture of Lil Cruiser on like a huge city fight board, and you can just see Lil Cruiser just looking directly at the camera, just like the big freaking Gargant, and it's just like the line below it is just this was the last thing the Black Templars saw, and I was just like, yeah, that's good. That.
But it's like for me, I like it because it's got history to it, and it's a case of it's been owned by different war bosses, which is what you'd expect of a Gargant. You'd expect whoever's controlling it that when they lose it, the new war boss would have to get it rebuilt and repainted. So I think it's had 2 paint jobs. It's been a Deaf Skull Gargant, and then it got painted up as a Goth Gargant, and then obviously, you know, each person did their own little bits and pieces to it. So then I have to eventually put my touch on it and then give it like digital camo or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That'd be pretty sweet.
That'd be good.
It will happen. It will. When we start doing mega battles and bringing big units, I'll get it sorted for now.
Well, that'll be my spur. When we do our mega battle, that'll be my spur to get this bad boy finished. That's for sure. Yeah. It won't take a lot. I reckon, honestly, if I spent a whole month of my hobby just doing that, I'd have it done easy. A couple of weeks, I'll probably have it done like that. It won't take long to paint because I'll just paint it like a piece of scenery. It'll be quite quick to paint it.
The detailing and the building is what takes so long on those type of projects. Like, they're just so big, man. Yeah. Like each piece of it is a project in and of itself. Like one arm, the head, you know what I mean? Another arm. It's like building a whole vehicle. Like,
yeah. Got the worst of it done. There's loads of corrugated cardboard on it, and it'll be fine.
Yeah, be cool.
I need a name for it. That's what I need.
Ooh, name your Gargant.
Yeah. It's Big Mac Mel's.
Little Chef.
Little Chef. He ain't that little though, is he? The compensator.
I say this quite often, but like it's not compensation if you don't normally need one.
Darkened Whamsy or something. Just give him a big metal apron and a chef's hat. Give him a chef's hat as well. Like, just have it all like steel. It's all like armored.
Oh no, I know. His close combat weapon could be a massive frying pan.
Yeah. Or a whisk. Give him like a
giant
whisk arms. Yeah. Or blender arms. You know the blitzers. What do they call them? The soup blenders.
Yeah,
like
little soup blender. Yeah.
Soup blender arms.
Transformation is complete. We are now in Mega Maid.
Mega Maid.
Right, I'm gonna have to bounce off, lads. It's 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Should we call it there then? And I'll get.
Yeah, I think we probably should.
The stream gets shut down.
Yeah, sounds got a plan.
Right. So
thank you everyone for joining us.
Yes.
It's goodbye from Dim. That you can't hear.
So what did he say?
Tune in Sunday. Bald Knobs coming at you.
Yeah. Bald Knobs episode this Sunday, 9 o'clock, Greenwich Mean Time.
And then you only have a week to wait, and then there'll be an Odd Boys episode as well. Yes, indeed.
Content coming hard and fast, just
crazy.
Yeah, the Warbosses coming in your ears.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
That reference is only going to work for a certain
mighty
portion of a UK
that
audience. I'm not going to give any explanation to those that don't know. They're just going to have to
leave
with that image.
Why not? Don't forget to drill your barrels.
Catch you on the next one.
Signing out.
I'll catch you on the next one.
And I'm signing out.
I'll catch you on the next one.
I'll sign you out.